Hello there everyone, my name is Max and welcome to my channel, The Rogue Yeti. The three things I'm going to go over in this video came up during an interview with Pete Rockwell, who is a sales and customer service rep on the West Coast, so California, Washington, Idaho and Oregon, of course. This interview was not done by me. This interview was done during a podcast. It was in the River Talk podcast, episode 55. If you guys want to check out the full podcast, I'll leave a link to that in the description. These guys do an awesome job, and in this podcast there was some really cool features and stuff I wanted to talk about, so I'm here talking to you guys about it now. For starters, AIRE is updating their tributary lineup. The first thing is they're actually just breaking it down into one solid color scheme. In the past I've had two color schemes, a gray with blue highlights and a blue with gray highlights. They're getting rid of the gray and blue and they're going solid blue and gray. This would be kind of in response to people not having a good liking to the gray with the blue highlights. The second thing is they're getting rid of the Leafield B7 valves and swapping to the Leafield C7 valves. So it's a nice thing that they're doing, swapping to the C7, so they just have to worry about the C7 valve and they don't have to order any other special parts or such for one such lineup of boats. They could just worry about the C7 valve and that's it. The difference between the C7 and the B7, the B7 actually holds air quite a bit more, but the C7 is actually easier to replace. The B7 also sticks up off the raft a little bit more. The C7 is very similar to the D7 valves and it actually has a lower profile, which allows paddlers easier paddling along the side of the boat, and it doesn't give as much bumps and kind of scrapes on the outside of the boat. So I think it's an awesome change that they've got going on that boat. The next thing that was brought up during this interview is that AIRE is actually coming out with an inflatable fishing kayak they call the IK Angler. I don't know the entire specs of this boat just yet. I really haven't seen it in any sort of photos yet. I'm sure there is a photo of it at a retail store or a retail gathering somewhere. There's not one of it up on the site yet. What I do know is that this IK Angler will be in at about 35 pounds. It has a folding padded seat, which is nice to see in a fishing kayak. AIRE has also put on a system called the Integrated Gear System, which allows the installation of rod holders, motor mounts, anchor mounts, anything else you could install on the fishing boat, you could probably put in this anchor system as well. I'd love to see this boat in person rather than just talk about it and not really see a picture of it myself. I'd love to see it in person. Fishing kayaks aren't really my thing, but it's cool that AIRE is kind of getting into this market. It was brought up that fishing kayaks are actually the thing that's really popular right now, kind of how paddleboards were really popular a few years ago. It's actually transferring over into fishing kayaks, so fishing kayaks are blowing up all over the market. And the hard kayak guys like Jackson, Liquid Logic, anyone else who does that stuff has actually got more fishing kayaks out there during the retail gatherings and then their hard boats, which I find interesting and kind of cool how the sport's kind of going to fishermen and, you know, that kind of stuff. The last thing that was brought up and the thing that I was really interested in myself was actually the AIRE Cub. The AIRE Cub is actually a 10.5-foot boat. It was mimicked and modeled very much off of the High-Side Mini Max, which has been a very popular R1 and R2 boat, or basically a boat that you take out by yourself, or if you have a buddy or a couple of buddies that want to go out in a little boat with you and you can go out and have some fun. The other thing nice about these little boats is you don't have to worry about a big clanky trailer you have to pull it up on all the time because it's a big boat and a whole bunch of pieces that go together and you can't really shove it in the back of a vehicle. The Cub is not the smallest boat in the world, but it's small enough that you can pull it up, throw it in the back of your car, and just go off and have some fun with it. AIRE designed the Cub while also listening to customer reviews too. There's a lot of people out there that are actually wanting a boat that did not have the diminishing tubes, very similar to the Puma series or the D series that AIRE puts out, or even the Double D series. The AIRE Cub does not have those diminishing tubes around the outside at all, meaning that the outside tubes of the boat will be the same diameter all the way around the boat. So no diminishing tubes there. I actually got to demo this boat back in the summer of 2019, or this year anyway, and I had an absolute blast doing it. The floor in the Cub will be the same lace-in floor that AIRE puts in all their boats. It can come in two different styles. You either get the sealed floor version, which I actually preferred when I was using the demo boat, and then you could get the sealed version, of course. It's a bit more special order, but if you want that sealed floor, you can get the sealed floor if you want. When I was demoing the Cub this past summer, I actually really liked the unsealed floor. I felt it really stuck that boat down to the water and kept it from tipping over from time to time, or in spots where smaller boats would have tipped over. I'm actually going to be getting one of these Cubs in the 2020 season, so I'll be doing a video on that when it comes in, and I'm hoping it's going to be as awesome as this little demo boat I tried. So that is what AIRE's up to for this 2020 season. There might be other projects in the work as well. This is only the fall of 2019, and they might pop something in there between now and spring of 2020, who knows. If you guys are as hyped about these new boats and developments from AIRE as much as I am, leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. I would love to read them. Love to see what you guys like about them, love to see what you guys don't like about them. Also, feel free to subscribe as well. It just shows me that you guys like what I'm doing, and I can keep putting these kind of informational videos out about the rafting world, and I can keep doing what I like to do. Also, if you want to check out that podcast, which is the River Talk Podcast episode 55, remember I am putting a link to that in the description, so feel free to check it out, and I'll catch you guys next time.